Hey guys, it's me, Steve. North Coast Garage. This is, I guess, a little intro to the intro. I'm going to apologize in advance. This video did not go as planned. And the camera angles weren't perfect. Like it was, I struggled with this one. There was a surprise at the end of the video. I won't ruin it. But it didn't go as planned. So it's nothing bad. It could be a good thing depending on how I do the next video. I have to try something else. You'll understand after you watch it. But so yeah, like I said, this one didn't go as planned. But anyways, here's the video. I don't know what to tell you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, North Coast Garage. Today we're going to finish disassembling the truck. We got the intake manifold to come off and the head to come off. Yeah, I guess just hop to it, I guess. Alright, so the intake manifold, there's 10mm bolts, I think 5 on each side. Let's start with that. Let's loosen. One at the back on the driver's side is very tricky to get to. It's way back there behind the wiring harness there. The socket just dropped. That's one. 2. 3. 4. 5. 7. think she's loose now. It wasn't loose. There was still another one in the back that I had to get. Yeah, this is what I'm getting at here, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Like, try to zoom in. Like, it's way. That's how much room you got to work with here. Try this again. Try to lift it up from the bottom. Might have to get like a pry bar just to lift it up at the back from underneath. There we go. Success. On the back side, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 clips, and the last time it was a real pain in the ass to get these off. I've seen some videos of people leaving this on and they're able to somehow get the intake manifold out from underneath of it and pull it forward, and this will stay there. But I wasn't able to do it. But yeah, intake manifold is now off. There's the bolts that I was getting at. These ones right at the back, there's 2 close together. And then, so just like that. And then that just sits on top of there. And there's these little screws that hold this on. And now, these engines are really dirty. This is that styrofoam piece, or foam piece, what I was telling you about on the last video. That covers the fuel rails. Just pops out like that, and there's your fuel lines. And there's your fuel lines. High pressure fuel pump is right there. You don't really have to do that for what I'm doing. You should. GM recommends to replace these lines whenever you do this, because they say they're one-time use, but you know, they're metal lines. They're perfectly fine. I reused them and there's no leaks. So you got to disconnect the fuel, the electrical connections there for the fuel fuel injectors. And then some, you can leave the fuel injectors in the head when you pull it off, I think. I'm going to get some tape, just cover up the driver's side intake ports, because I'm not taking the driver's side head off. I'm just doing the passenger side. Now we can try and do this stuff. I don't know if that one, I think it's this big one that has to come off. See the little red locking tab again? It's way at the back. There. That just see, there's, I don't know if you can see that. There's the locking tab. Pull that. And then I believe these are 17. Now there could be a bit of fuel pressure in these, so oh no. Just be careful when you take off the fuel lines. I got a rag here to catch anything. Just looking for like a Schrader valve or something, but I don't see one. Gotta take off this one here, this here, let's go slow and gentle. Let any pressure come out that might be in there, just like that. There we go. Soak up the gas. Just be very gentle with these. Oh, I love the smell of gasoline. I love it. Some people hate it, but I love it. I hate the smell of diesel. Love the smell of gas. Alright. Now this is, I don't know if I said, but this is a 17 millimeter. Okay, and then this bolt here comes off, and this just lifts up. Going to put this back in here so I don't lose it. And now the fuel line's now off. Soak up some gas that spilt. There we go. I think this does have to come unplugged here. I gotta try and lean way back in there. There. This one doesn't have a lock on it, it just pushes down right there. So now, I guess we can, I think I'm going to drain some coolant just so I don't make too much of a mess when I pull the head off. But yeah, and I can move the heater hoses and get at that valve cover a lot easier. All right, I'll check back in a bit. All right, now the valve cover can come off. There's 10 millimeter bolts. That last one's a bitch to get off because it's so far back there. Right up against the firewall. Okay, and there you have the rockers. So how I figured out that it was exhaust number 4 is when you first heard a tapping noise. First of all, on the passenger side, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, and it's just 4 and 6 that shut down to go into 4-cylinder mode. So it's just these two and these two. So I heard a ticking noise. So I pulled the valve cover off and I was wiggling the valve train, the rocker arms. All right. I could tell this one here was really loose, and it was because the push rod was bent. So I pulled it off, checked the push rod, it was bent, put a non-bent push rod I had left over from the last job, put it back in, and it was still making the noise, so that means the lifter is gone. So, but everything is tight. So I don't have to worry about any other ones, I don't think, but I could check them when I have it all.
Little did I know, I did have to worry about the other ones.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take, it's an 8mm socket for the rocker arms to come off. Now, some people say you're supposed to turn the motor over and so the springs are not compressed or whatever. I have never done that. And we're just going to do this. Jen? That one's straight. So this is number 2 at the front, the first number 2. I got an old box that I'm putting these in just to keep them in order. Okay, here's the other number 2. Here's number 4. Now, I'm going to see if this is bent. This is the one I put in there to replace the bent one. That is perfectly straight still. So, it's still good. Never bent it again afterwards.
Keep it good on my hands.
There's the other one, number 4. That's the other number 4. Here's number 6, the first number 6. Come on. Oh. Number 6 was bent too. Okay. Number 6 exhaust was also bent. So it's just the exhaust side that's bending for some reason. I was not prepared for number 6. I thought it was only number 4. Okay, here. Number 2 and number 8 don't have the problem lifters on there. They're just the regular lifters. Okay, number 8. You know what I want to do before we go further? I really wish I knew that number 6 was bent.
Yeah, and I don't know what to do, so I was just spent a little bit of time thinking about it here. Cue the Jeopardy music.
There's one more that we're missing.
I know. I'm thinking of putting half back together and replacing the bent push rod and see if it still makes the noise.
You still have the parts coming, that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't care if I don't have to take the head off. If I can just replace the push rod that's bent. I mean, I've gone this far, but I don't want to take the head off if I don't have to. Because that's actually kind of a good thing if I don't have to take the head off. Because I could put the intake back on, put the fuels lines back on, put the intake back on, okay? Mm-hmm. And start it up on the driver's side bank. Right? Yeah. It will run on 4 cylinders on the driver's side. Mm-hmm. But if this is making, this will be together and moving, all these will still be moving. Like it's running. Okay, let's put it back together and try that. Because if I don't have to take the heads off, that is a huge bonus. All I would have to do then is just change the bent push rod out, put it back together.
And get rid of it.
The biggest pain in the ass is doing the head, because then you got to torque it down properly. And if I had known that number 6 was bent, I didn't think it was bent. So, change of plans. I'm going to try and put it half back together because I found that other bent push rod. I'm going to put a straight push rod in. The lifter might still be okay. It could have been just the push rod bouncing around in there making the noise. So, okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll just do that, and if I don't have to take the head off, that's bonus. Well, I think I might just end the video here. I think I'm just gonna put the intake back on, obviously the fuel lines back on, intake on. I'll have to put the heater hoses back on, alternator, put it all back together except for I'll leave the exhaust manifold off and the valve cover off on this side and start it up on 4 cylinders and see if it's still making the rattling noise. And then we'll go from there, I think. Because if I don't have to take the head off, that would be a big time saver for me here, and it's just easier. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching. This video obviously didn't go as planned, but yeah, I'm beat for today anyway. Just sitting up here with my chest sitting up here is just, it hurts. And yeah, well, we'll see you later. I'll let you know what happens. Bye.